Good day, class! It's time to learn with Group 2 about scoring grammatical ability. Grammatical ability refers to knowing how grammar is used in communication. The lesson will cover scoring, the use of measurement models, and computer-assisted language learning.
This is a second challenge relates to scoring. The specification of both grammatical form or form itself and meaning are likely to influence the ways that grammar assessments are scored. Why? It's because grammatical structure of form and semantics are inseparable. Semantics are again the study of meaning. Remember that in constructing grammar, we should not just compose grammatically correct form or structure of words, but also convey semantically correct sense of meaning of the word. That is why both form and meaning are likely to influence the scoring of grammar assessment.
For example, the use of dichotomous scoring. Even with certain selected response item might need to give way to partial credit scoring, since some wrong answer may reflect partial development either in form or meaning, which the teacher provides aid on the aspect he or she needs to correct based on the partial score being noted and enhance the part where the student shows development either from form or meaning itself.
As a result, language teachers or educators might need to adopt their scoring procedures to reflect the two dimensions of grammatical knowledge. And accordingly, these two dimensions of grammatical knowledge that needs to reflect in the scoring procedures that are central in second language learning and teaching are knowing how to use the grammatical system of a language to create sentences, and the other is knowing how to use the grammatical resources of a language as part of the processes used in creating spoken and written text. To put it simply, these dimensions of grammatical knowledge are grammatical form and grammatical meaning.
The use of measurement models can accommodate both the autonomous and partial credit data in analyzing test scores. So measurement is the process of assigning number to persons or items and even in events in the meaningful way. Therefore, knowing how to perceive the numbers being assigned to each aspects or any circumstances or any form of questions requires an awareness of measurement scale.
Scoring extended production tasks for both form and meaning, descriptors and scoring rubrics might need to be adapted to reflect a graded performance more clearly. Descriptors spell out each level of performance for each criterion and describe what performance at a particular level looks like. It describes how well students' work is distinguished from the work of their peers, and it will help you to distinguish between each student's work.
It should also be noted that more complex scoring procedures will impact the resources it takes to mark responses or to program machine scoring devices. It will also require a closer examination and hopefully ongoing research of how a wrong answer may be a reflection of interlanguage development. However, successfully meeting these challenges could provide a more valid assessment of the test taker's underlying grammatical ability.
Computer-assisted language learning has a clear example of the need to score for form and meaning. Computer-assisted language learning has evolved through various stages in both technology as well as the pedagogical use of technology. Studies show that the CALL trend has facilitated students in their English language writing with useful tools such as computer-based activities and word processing. Students are able to produce higher quality essays in a student-centered nature and less intimidating manner. It is also noted that this has indirectly allowed students to engage in exploratory learning with a large amount of language data. It is also an approach to teaching and learning in which the computer and computer-based resources such as the internet are used to present, reinforce, and assess material to be learned. It usually includes a substantial interactive element. It also includes the search for and the investigation of applications in language, teaching, and learning.
Several studies have investigated, for example, the role or different types of corrective feedback on grammar development. In this sense, corrective feedback is a form of performance feedback that offers an assessment on how well the students have done. Another example is how repetition by highlighting contributes to the student's grammar development. Well, these studies proved that there is a need to give a score to the learner's language learning performance in order for them to perform better.
The scoring of both grammatical form and meaning, when applicable, might provide interesting insights into learner uptake in computer-assisted language learning. Another challenge relates to the scoring of grammatical ability in complex performance tasks. Now, when we talk about complex performance tasks, these are the tasks that test your ability. In instances where the assessment goals call for the use of complex performance tasks, we need to be sure to use well-developed scoring rubrics and rating scales to guide raters to focus their judgments only on the constructs relevant to the assessment goal. Now, assessment goal is what they are using to rate the grammatical ability of the learners or the students. It stresses that scales such as tasks that represent explicitly or implicitly the theoretical basis upon which the performance is judged. It clearly defines constructs of grammatical ability and how they are operationalized in rating scales. Questions related to whether topical knowledge or strategic competence are part of the construct or not did not need to be resolved, and the rating scales need to reflect these decisions.
The advantages of using complex performance tasks that are highly authentic is the generalizability of inferences. These tasks allows us to make about grammatical ability. Again, from the previous lesson, grammatical ability refers to the capacity of someone to realize grammatical knowledge accurately and meaningfully in testing or in any language use situation. From the word itself, complex performance task, these pertains to the complicated performance task that will test the limit or the edge or how far the grammatical ability of the students.
The disadvantage, however, relates to the potential lack of accuracy with which we are able to infer what test takers know about specific grammatical knowledge, and this mistake is often done either intentionally or unintentionally by such tasks by the raters. Furthermore, it is susceptible to unfairness, subjectivity, lacking objectivity, reliability, and validity if not properly guided by well-defined criteria or rubrics. To conclude, language educators adapt scoring procedure to reflect the two dimensions of grammatical knowledge. The use of computer-assisted language learning can stimulate students' learning autonomy. The best thing about using complex performance tests is that
It enhances the critical thinking skills of the learners, and its disadvantage is just simply because of its complexity. That's all, everyone. Thank you for the willingness to learn. I hope that everybody will stay safe.